Everyone thinks coffee prices are set by your local cafe. They're wrong. That $5 latte you grabbed this morning, its price was decided months ago, thousands of miles away, in places you've probably never heard of. The journey from seed to cup is so intricate, so vulnerable to forces beyond any single person's control, that understanding it changes how you see that morning ritual entirely. Let's start where coffee actually begins, the farms. About 70% of the world's coffee grows in a narrow band around the equator called the Bean Belt. Countries like Brazil, Vietnam, Colombia, and Indonesia are the heavy hitters. But here's the thing, most of these aren't wealthy nations with sophisticated infrastructure. They're vulnerable to weather, politics, and economic shifts that ripple outward instantly. When frost hits Brazil's coffee belt or heavy rains destroy crops in East Africa, global prices spike within weeks. Farmers can't just plant more next season. Coffee trees take 3 to 4 years to produce their first harvest. So when disaster strikes, there's no quick fix. The shortage is baked in. Then there's the middleman problem. A farmer in rural Colombia doesn't sell directly to your cafe. The beans pass through exporters, importers, brokers, and distributors. Each hand that touches the coffee adds cost. Each layer takes a cut. And because coffee is traded on global commodity exchanges, its price fluctuates constantly, just like oil or wheat. Speaking of shipping, getting those beans from Colombia to California requires ocean freight, trucking, and handling. A single container ship might carry hundreds of thousands of pounds of coffee. When fuel prices rise, shipping costs rise. When ports are congested or trade tensions spike, delays multiply. All of that gets passed down. Now add currency exchange. Brazilian coffee is priced in US dollars. If the Brazilian real weakens against the dollar, farmers earn less per pound. They might cut corners on quality or reduce production. If the dollar strengthens, imports become cheaper for American roasters, but only temporarily because global demand adjusts. At the roastery, whether it's a specialty micro roaster or a massive industrial operation, the green beans are transformed. Roasting is both art and chemistry. The roaster's skill, the equipment used, the time invested, all affect the final flavor and quality. A small batch roaster's costs look completely different from a bulk processor's. Then there's labor, not just in farming, but in roasting, packaging, distribution, and retail. A cafe employee steaming milk and pulling shots is part of your coffee's cost structure. Wages vary wildly across regions. A barista in San Francisco costs a cafe far more than one in rural Guatemala, even if both are equally skilled. And we haven't even touched rent, utilities, equipment maintenance, or marketing. Your cafe's landlord, the electricity bill, the espresso machine that costs thousands, it all gets baked into that cup's price. The supply chain isn't just farming and shipping, it's an entire ecosystem of costs. Climate change is making all of this worse. Erratic weather is becoming the norm, not the exception. Pests are spreading to new regions. Water scarcity threatens farms that have operated for generations. Coffee is incredibly sensitive to temperature and rainfall. Even small shifts matter enormously. So when you pay $5 or $6 or $7 for specialty coffee, you're not just paying for a drink. You're paying for the accumulated cost of a global network. Farmers, workers, transporters, roasters, retailers, all trying to move a perishable product from the tropics to your cup without losing quality or going broke. Understanding this doesn't make your coffee taste better, but it might make you appreciate the complexity hiding inside it. If you want to keep learning how everyday prices actually form, from housing to healthcare to the food on your table, subscribe for a new breakdown every week. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research. Subscribe for a new breakdown of everyday prices every week. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research.